session, we have learned about how to calculate mean deviation about mean and mean deviation about median for discrete data distribution or discrete frequency distribution. In this session, we are going to learn the same thing, how to find mean deviation about mean and median, but for a different type of data set, that is for continuous frequency distribution. So first we need to know what is a continuous frequency distribution. Continuous frequency distribution means it is a series in which the data is being classified into class intervals, that is it is being grouped and the corresponding frequencies against the class intervals is being recorded. For example, if we list down the scores of a particular subject of some students, we can write like this. The class interval can be written as 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 and 40 to 50. This is the class interval or the data in which or the class intervals in which the marks are being grouped, and we will note down the frequencies. Frequencies means how many students obtained marks from 0 to 10. We will write down the number there, maybe 5. 10 to 20, how many scored? Maybe 17. 20 to 30, 22. 30 to 40, 21. And 40 to 50, we have 12. This is how continuous data distribution is being written. Now we are going to learn how to find the mean deviation about mean and median for these type of data set. One thing to be noted is that for continuous frequency distribution, there should not be any gap between the class intervals. If the class intervals are written like this, given like this in the question, 0 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50. Then when we look at the class intervals, there are gaps between the class intervals. So before finding out whatever statistical tool or whatever mean deviation or measure of central tendency or measure of dispersion, whatever we find out, we have to make the class intervals or transform the class intervals in such a way that there should not be any gap between the class intervals. For that we have to write like this. This is how we usually transform the class intervals, such as there are no gap between the class intervals. And we can list down the corresponding frequencies there. Median can be calculated using the formula m is equal to L plus n by 2 minus C divided by F into H, where L is the lower limit of the median class, n is the sum of frequencies, C is the cumulative frequency just preceding the median class, and F frequency of the median class, and H is the class interval width. That I'll discuss it in detail while doing the problem. So this is how you find the mean deviation about mean and median. Mean deviation formula is the same, but the only difference is for continuous frequency distribution and for discrete frequency distribution, the method to find the mean and median is the difference. So be very careful while doing discrete data and continuous data, and for median for continuous data we are using this formula. When finding the mean of a continuous frequency distribution, we have just now we have discussed the formula as sum of I from 1 to n fi into xi divided by sum of I from 1 to n fi, or which is capital N, the sum of frequencies. This formula can be used when the data points are small or the numbers are small. What if when the numbers are big and calculation become more tedious? We can do step deviation method or a shortcut method to find out the mean of continuous frequency distribution. In order to find the mean of a continuous frequency distribution using shortcut method or a step deviation method, the formula is given as x bar is equal to a plus sum of I from 1 to n fi di divided by n, where a is the assumed mean of the data, assumed mean of the given data set, and di is the step deviation which is calculated for each class interval using di is equal to xi minus a by h, where a is the assumed mean of the class data set and h is the interval width. Now first we will discuss a question from the exercise 15.1. Maybe question number 9 we will discuss, and we will do it using the step deviation method or shortcut method. Now we will discuss question number 10 from exercise 15.1. It is question number 9, sorry, question number 9 from 15.1. The class intervals are given as 0 to 100. The corresponding frequency is 4, 100 to 200, frequency 8, 200 to 300, frequency 9, and till 700 to 800, the frequency is given as 3. The total sum of frequencies is 50. When you add up the frequencies, you will get it as 50. Now, as it is class interval, first we have to find the midpoint. First you have to make sure that the class intervals are without gaps. So here it is without gaps. You can see from the data itself. Now we have to find the midpoint of the class intervals. Midpoint 0 to 100, the midpoint is 50. 100 to 200, midpoint 150. Similarly, till 700 to 800, the midpoint is 750. Now, since these x values are very big, we opt for step deviation method, or you can directly multiply. If you are very fast in calculation, you can straight away go with the normal way to find the mean, but here the values are too big to multiply. That is why we are opting for shortcut method or step deviation method. In order to find the step deviation method, we have to first find an assumed mean. Here we approximately take a middle value. So here we take the middle value or approximate assumed mean as 350, or you can choose 450. Both are correct. It's according to your choice. Both values you can choose any one of the values. So I am choosing 350 here as the assumed mean. And now the deviation, step deviation, we calculate it as xi minus assumed mean divided by h, or xi minus a divided by h. Here a is 350, which is the assumed mean which we have chosen. 100 is the class interval. So when we find out xi minus a by h, we have to do 50 minus 350 divided by 100. You will get minus 3. 150 minus 350 divided by 100, minus 2. 250 minus 350 divided by 100, minus 1. Similarly, we find out all the values. Now, in order to find mean, we need fi into di. If we are not using the step deviation method, we use Fi into Xi, but if we are using the step deviation method, we use Fi into Di. So frequencies to be multiplied with the deviations. 4 into minus 3 minus 12, 8 into minus 2 minus 16, 9 into minus 1 minus 9. Similarly, all the frequencies are multiplied with the step deviations and are being tabulated, and we find out the sum. Now we are going to find the mean using step deviation method. To find the mean, we use the formula x bar is equal to a plus sum of I from 1 to n Fi into Di divided by capital N into H. Assumed mean is 350 plus sum of Fi Di, we have it as 4 divided by capital N 50 into interval bit, that is 100, that is 350 plus 8, we get 358 as x bar or mean of the data. Once we get the mean of the data, now we are to calculate the mean deviation. In order to calculate the mean deviation, we have to find the absolute values of deviations from the x values. So we need to find modulus of xi minus x bar. That is, xi value is 50. 50 minus 358. 308 taking the absolute value. 150 minus 358. 208 you will get. Similarly, you have to find all the deviations. Then those xi minus x bars should be multiplied with the corresponding frequencies. That is 4 into 308. 8 into 208, 9 into 108, and the values are being tabulated, and we find the sum of Fi into xi minus x bar. Then finally, to find the mean deviation of this particular set of data, the same formula as discrete distribution, and for continuous distribution it is the same. Sum of I from 1 to n Fi into xi minus x bar divided by sum of Fi or capital N. That is 7896 divided by 50. You have to find it in decimal values corrected to 2 places. That is 157.92, which is the mean deviation of this particular continuous frequency distribution. Next, question number 10, you have to do it at home. The same method, you can use step deviation method. In question number 10, the data interval, the intervals are without gaps, so you can straight away find out the midpoint. Same procedure, using the step deviation method or shortcut method, you can find the mean deviation about mean for this particular continuous frequency distribution. Next, in this exercise, question number 11, we are going to learn how to find the mean deviation about median for the continuous frequency distribution. Question number 11 from exercise 15.1, how to find the mean deviation about median for continuous frequency distribution. The data points are given: class interval 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, till 50 to 60. Corresponding frequencies is given. We have found out the sum of frequencies as 50. Here also there are no gap between the class intervals, therefore straight away we can find the mid values. The mid values are 0 to 10, the mid value is 5, 10 to 20 it is 15, 20 to 30, 25, 30 to 40 it is 35, and so on. To find the median, first we need to find the cumulative frequency. If wherever we are finding out the median, if the data set is having frequencies, we have to find out the cumulative frequency. That is, 6 is the first frequency, then 6 plus 8, 14, 14 plus 14, 28, 28 plus 16, 44, 44 plus 4, 48, and 48 plus 2, 50. Now, in order to find the median, we have to find the median class. Median class is the class corresponding to n by 2th frequency. N by 2th frequency means 50 by 2th or 25th frequency. The class corresponding to 25th frequency is the median class. Here 25th frequency means it comes here. This is 10 to 20 means the data points till 14. 15 to 28 it falls under the class interval 20 to 30. So class interval corresponding to 25th frequency means it is 20 to 30. Therefore, the median class is 20 to 30, and Now, how to find the median? Median is L plus n by 2 minus C divided by F into H. Now, we'll find out these values. L is the lower limit of the median class. Lower limit of the median class, 20. H is the interval width, that is 10. C is the cumulative frequency just preceding the median class. Cumulative frequency just preceding the median class. So, cumulative frequency preceding the median class means it is 14. And small letter f is frequency of the median class. Frequency of the median class is again 14. And finally, capital N, already we know it is 50. By substituting these values in the formula, we will get 20 plus n by 2 is 25 minus cumulative frequency just preceding the median class 14 divided by frequency of the median class is 14 into interval width, that is 10. When we simplify it, we will get the median as 27.86. Now, we have got the median as 27.86. Now, in order to find the mean deviation about median, we need to find the deviation of each x values from the median and find its absolute value. That is modulus of xi minus n. 5 minus 27.86 and its modulus value 15 minus 27.86, absolute value 25 minus 27.86. Similarly, you have to find all the values, then multiply these values with the corresponding frequencies, you will get the last table and the sum. Now, in order to find the mean deviation, the same formula we apply. Mean deviation about median is sum of I from 1 to n, fi into modulus of xi minus median divided by sum of fi. That is 517.16, which we have found out in the table, divided by sum of fi, or it is capital N itself, that is 50, and find the value corrected to 2 decimal places, that is 10.34. This is how we find the mean deviation about median for a continuous frequency distribution. So that exercise 15.1, question number 12 is also being used with the that is to be done also in the same method, but there is one difference. In question number 12, the class intervals are 16 to 20, 21 to 25, 26 to 30, 31 to 35 and so on. That means the class intervals are having gaps. They are not without gaps. So you have to first regroup or rewrite the class intervals in such a way that there are no gaps between the class intervals. So it can be written as 15.5 to 20.5, then 20.5 to 25.5, 25.5 to 30.5, 30.5 to 35.5, 35.5 to 40.5, and similarly the last one 50.5 to 55.5, so that the class intervals does not have any gap in between, and the corresponding frequencies are given. The same method is to be followed. You have to find out the median first using L, F, N, C, all those values. You have to find the median, then deviation from the median and absolute value, multiply it with the frequencies, then you can find the mean deviation. So this is all about mean deviation about mean and median. We have learned for ungrouped data. That is the first video. In the first video we have learned about ungrouped data. Then in the second and third videos we are learning about grouped data. In the first one we discussed discrete frequency distribution, and in this session we have discussed for continuous frequency distribution. This is all about mean deviation, calculating mean deviation about mean and median. In the next session we will be learning about how to find a much more accurate measure of dispersion, that is standard deviation and variance. And with that, this chapter will be over, and in the next session standard deviation and variance will be discussed.